So today I want to talk to you about a couple strategies that you may implement to potentially save you some significant taxes down the line. Derek Mazzarella with Gateway Financial Partners. I'm a certified financial planner, and today we're going to talk about Roth conversions. All right, so what is a Roth conversion? First, let's take a step back and realize that basically all money is essentially taxed in three ways. All right, so with a Roth, we use after-tax money. The money grows tax-free. We take that money out. As long as you wait till 59 and a half or later, the money is tax-free. Now, most people save into a traditional 401k or traditional IRA. That is essentially the exact opposite. So we use tax-deferred money. Money grows tax-deferred. You take money out. That's when you pay taxes. The third bucket is typically an investment account, but it can be something like a house, business. You're using after-tax dollars to pay for it. You may potentially pay taxes throughout the year in terms of income or capital gains. And then here, if you sell it and there's any growth, you're paying taxes again. Okay. So depending on where you are, one of these buckets may make more or less sense for you. But today we're going to talk about making a Roth conversion. And a Roth conversion involves taking money from this bucket and then converting it to this bucket. So you're taking a traditional IRA and converting it to a Roth IRA. Now, the one thing you really need to keep in mind is that whenever you make a contribution or a conversion, this right here means you're paying taxes and you're paying income tax rates. That's because you had deferred taxes, right? So you use it on a pre-tax basis. So you never pay taxes on this money. The IRS is going to say, I want my taxes right now. So anytime you make a conversion, you're paying income taxes on the income tax rate you're currently in today. Okay. So there could be, why would someone do this? Basically, it depends on what your life situation is, but tax planning involves looking at taxes today and the future, and it can make a lot of sense to start taking some of those taxes now and paying them later. And I'm going to talk about 3 instances where that could potentially make the most sense for you. All right, so first is a market drop. I think if you've been invested any number of years, you're going to understand that markets do fluctuate. And instead of putting our head in the sand when a market drops, we need to look for opportunities. So one such opportunity is taking traditional IRAs and converting them to Roths. I'll give you an example. Let's say you have an account with $100,000 in it. The market drops 20%. So now your 100K goes down to 80K. So any advisor will tell you, don't sell, right? Because most people panic, sell. Here's where you need to switch your mind and say, okay, this is the opportunity I can look out for. So because now your $100,000 is $80,000, your account has dropped 20%. And that means if we make a conversion at this number, 80K, compared to this number, we're paying taxes on $20,000 less. Right? So let's say you want to convert it here. You would convert it at 80K. So now we take this traditional IRA, right? And now we're going to convert it to a Roth. So we're paying taxes as we made $80,000 of income, so it could bump us up. So pay attention to those tax brackets when you're doing that. But every advisor can say, hey, look, wait this out because the market's going to rebound. Let's say it does rebound eventually back up to $100,000. So in this Roth scenario, this is going to be tax-free. If we waited in the traditional standpoint, did nothing, that 80,000 went back up to 100K, same scenario, right? But all that growth is taxable, right? So as the money keeps growing above and beyond this $100,000, all of that continued growth is tax-free. Whereas over here, we're going to keep paying taxes and growing our tax liability along with the investment amount. So market drops can be an excellent opportunity as long as you're paying attention to your brackets to convert some money. So that's opportunity number 1. Number 2 is, you know what, this may suck, but you could have a down income year, right? So you may have maybe your business isn't doing as much. Maybe you got laid off throughout the year. But let's say you were in the 32% bracket, and now you're in the 22% bracket. That's a 10% drop in your tax rate. that could be an opportunity for you to say, okay, maybe this year I'm going to take some of that money, take some of the money in my IRA and convert it to a Roth, because now instead of paying tax at 32%, I'm paying tax at 22%. And if you think in the future you might be at the 24 or back to the 32% bracket when you're taking money out, you essentially just saved around 10% or so in taxes for you. Plus all that growth is once again tax-free. So that's opportunity number 2. Opportunity number 3, that's going to actually come in retirement. And what most people are taught is that we're going to have to save taxes today, right? So we're going to have a higher income when we're working and a lower tax bracket in retirement. So here's kind of essentially what your tax brackets look like. So you might be high up here when you're working, and then as you're not working, maybe you saved in other ways. You have after-tax money, the investment accounts that you can now withdraw from, and then the IRS can say, well, whoa, you saved all that money in a pre-tax bucket. We're going to require you to take money out. Those are called your required minimum distributions, or your RMDs, and your tax bracket may shoot up again, right? So most people have this kind of, U-shaped tax bracket in retirement. What we can do is say, okay, now I've got this opportunity right here. I'm going to fill in a little bit of this tax bracket here. I'm going to convert some money into Roth IRAs here. And then instead of going back up like we are up here, maybe our tax line is going to be down here. And this delta right here is going to represent our tax savings moving forward. And the other hidden benefit of doing this is that when you pass away, it's much better to give money in Roth IRA dollars than it is to give traditional IRA dollars, because traditional IRAs require people to spend money down as long as you're non-spouse beneficiary over a 10-year span. So Roth IRAs do not have that requirement. So Roth IRAs can be a little bit more efficient from a beneficiary standpoint compared to traditional IRAs, and you may potentially reduce your income tax rates over the long haul in the course of your retirement by taking a little bit of your taxes here and then to save your money down the line. So just to recap, Roth conversions take moving money from your traditional IRA to a Roth IRA. That act of doing that means you are paying taxes on that amount at your income tax rate. The 3 opportunities to look at tax saving opportunity to do Roth conversions: market drops, if your income drops, and potentially in retirement if you have that kind of U-shaped tax bracket in retirement. So I'm Derek Mazzarello with Gateway Financial Partners. Feel free to reach out with any questions and check out the other videos I have to see if you want to learn more about how to reduce taxes in retirement, potentially for yourself.